it's your boy Kamal here and you're watching Jugaad PY. In our last video, we learned about variables in Python. We discussed what are variables or how to use variables. But if you're a complete beginner, you must be wondering when to use variables or what are the basic applications of variables, or you just need to practice some more with variables. If your answer is yes, then this video is made just for you guys. So without wasting any time, let's get straight into it. So first of all, from now, this video will be divided into 3 parts. Each part will have its own problem and its own solution. But make sure you watch the video till the end, because in the end I'll be having some bonus problems for you guys to solve by your own. And if you guys have any problems to be solved, make sure to share them in the comment section. I'll definitely give them a look. So, as our first problem, we will create a program which will calculate the area and the circumference of a given circle. So, before you get straight into coding, first of all, whenever you need to create a program or you need to solve a problem, you just don't like straight away go into coding. First of all, you wait and understand the problem and come up with a solution in your head. Like in this case, first of all, you need to know that what area and circumference of the circle is, which is like all the surface inside the boundaries and the boundaries of the circle respectively. And also you should know the grade 6 maths, which is simple, like the formula of area and the formula of circumference, which is pi r square and 2 pi r respectively, where r is the radius of the circle, which is like the distance from the center to the boundary of the circle, and pi is like a constant whose value is 3.14 or 22 divided by 7. But although the value of pi is not defined yet, but for simplicity we will be using 3.14 as the value of pi in this video. So now when you have all of this information, you know that to calculate area and circumference of the circle, you need radius of the circle. So now we will start coding by first taking a variable radius, and we will store a user input in it of integer type. Let's say we write radius and int and radius of the circle. When you have the radius of the circle, you start coding for area of the circle. Now you take another variable area in which you store like 3.14, which is the value of pi multiplied by radius squared. Now here is a catch. You can do it the normal way. You can just write radius into radius, which is not very handy like in a situation where you need to calculate like radius to the power of n, where n is a user input. So what you will do, how many times you will multiply radius with itself when you don't even know what n is. So that's why we have an operator in Python, which is the double star operator. Like you can write radius, then double star, then to the power of which you want to, like in this case we have to calculate the square. We will just write 2. Like in the case I mentioned earlier, you can just write radius double star n, which will calculate the radius to the power of n. So now when you have done this, let's just print the area. And since we also have to calculate circumference of the circle, we will need another variable, and let's just name it cf. And in it we will just write 2 into pi, which is 3.14, and into radius, and that's it. Now let's just print it, and once we have printed it, now let's just hit F5 and run it. Now once we run it, we see that it asks for a user input of the radius, and let's just enter 5 in this case. And voila, here you go. You have printed the radius and circumference of the circle. So moving on to our next problem, or the second problem of the video, we will create a program to calculate simple interest. Like now it must be simple, right? Yeah, simple interest is simple. Okay, jokes apart. Following the previous approach, we need, if we know the formula, which is like principal into rate into time divided by 100, we knew that we need 3 variables as a user input, which is principal, rate and time. So first of all, let's get a user input ready. And now since we have done that, now we will take another variable SI for simple interest and write P into R into T divided by 100, and that's it. It will calculate simple interest for us, and now we will just print it. And once we have done this, let's run the code by pressing F5. And here let's just give the amount to be say 1000, and the time or the rate, okay, on the rate I'll give it to be 10%, on the time to be 1 year, and here we go. Oh, so here it is, we have calculated the simple interest to be rupees 100. So now let's move to our last problem of the video. So it is a fairly short problem, like in which we will just convert the temperature from degree Celsius to degree Fahrenheit. Right here you just need to like take one user input and know a pretty simple formula which must be hovering somewhere near my head on the screen, and just apply it and print it. So we will start by taking a variable C as Celsius and take a user input of type integer into it, and it will take temperature as Celsius as the input, and then we will take another variable F which stands for Fahrenheit and apply the formula to it. And then after we have done this, let's just print it. And now we will run the code by pressing F5, and voila, here you go. Now let's just enter 15 for the sake, and here you go, we have converted degree Celsius into degree Fahrenheit. And that's it with the problems, guys. And since I said I'll share you with some bonus problems, so I would recommend you creating your own programs or to calculate the sum of area and circumference of a rectangle and a triangle. And to be the second problem, I would give you that you should calculate the compound interest. And I think that's it. If you have watched the video till now, thank you so much for watching, and if you like the video, do consider subscribing my channel.
I'm in love with the cocoa. I got it for the road.